We came down from Darwin with the dust in our veins. We drove across the Nullarbor, driven by change. There were convoys from Melbourne and busloads from Cairns, where we camped at Wodonga and fueled up at Pheasant's Nest. And there were tears of hope singing through our liberated eyes as we scrawled freedom forever across our government's lives, as we scrawled freedom forever across all our government's lives. And we didn't come to start a war, and we didn't come to hate. Instead we came to remind you that we were still your mates. And we didn't come to start a war, and we didn't come to hate. Instead we came to remind you that it was not too late. But our country had gone crazy, corrupted by fear. And before us the long path was already flooded with tears. Yet in epic we were dancing, for we knew what we'd done. Together we'd made the birth of all our freedoms. And this new cry for liberty were the smiles in our hugs, as the cops haunted our periphery like tyranny's new thugs. But for one night in Canberra we knew we were aglow, and our luminance was shining like a beacon of hope. And we didn't come to start a war, and we didn't come to hate. Instead we came to remind you that we were still your mates. And we didn't come to start a war, and we didn't come to hate. Instead we came to remind you that it was not too late. So never forget how, by just being authentic, we drew a deep line in their cold sand, from a showground called epic. So never forget how, by leading the way, we wrote a fresh song of freedom that you can still sing today. So sing like you've never sung before. Sing now like your soul's found its wings. Sing out like an echo through our time, until our grandchildren are born humming our lines. Until our grandchildren are born in the freedom's warm and glorious light. Until our grandchildren are born in the freedom's warm and glorious light.
So today we're in court with Paul. I'm just going to, before I bring on the guest, I'm just going to play, this is Paul just after his day in court, just going to play his take on the day in court. Can actually speak, you have to be careful. But so this is there's thousands of people watching you, Paul. That was your first day in court. I watched you grin and bear through it. How are you feeling?
It's a very nervous experience, and certainly because I'm not a lawyer. It's something that I'm trying to be very careful and mindful that I follow all their procedure and protocol and do what I can to not waste the court's time, and also hopefully end up with a fair and just outcome.
And you did a speech. In fact, you had to address the jury. Have you ever done anything like that in your life?
At this moment in time, I can't think of anything that has been really public speaking that comes to mind.
Yeah.
And it's not my sort of thing, I guess. Yeah, no,
it's insane that we're here, brother.
I don't know.
It's insane that we're here.
I don't feel like it's a pleasant experience.
No.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
I didn't really enjoy my time in there, and I felt like a lot of the other people on the other side probably wasn't enjoying their time either. I don't know.
All right.
There definitely seems to be amount of passion.
Yeah.
In the whole thing. So.
How are you holding up after 3 years of this now? It's finally here. How are you holding up?
It will be good to see it dealt with and over. Definitely looking forward to that and being able to move forward. Not only myself, but friends, family, everybody involved. Just feels like it's been a complete waste of everybody's time and lives. I guess God always brings good things out of bad experiences and bad things. So that's the only thing I can see this has all been for. Is there something good that's going to come out of it in some way or another?
A crappy receipt. Why would I be holding up a crappy receipt? Because this receipt is the core of the story. And what is the story? So we got handed this by Tina in the court. It was handed to Paul's brother. Regardless of how this turns out, I want to let you know that your brother radiates gentleness and goodness, and nothing can change that about him. Tina. I'll give that to Paul tomorrow. Before I bring on my guest, when you're on the core of something, there's always a core story. And is the core story of why I'm here, what's the real core story here? Is it Paul? Well, actually, no. From my thing, I think the real beautiful thing about the story isn't what Paul's going through. He's also got someone helping him legally. I'm not to mention his name, but he's like a knight, really, a knight in shining armor helping Paul. And so, but that's not the story. What the story is this. It's brotherly love, real brotherly love. And so I'm going to bring on Michael now, who has been an incredible support. And I said to him, like, he didn't come to Epic, and he said today in the bar, and I love this, he said, if I had, this wouldn't have happened, and I would have saved myself 3 years of, I won't say what he called it, but I'm going to bring him on. I'm very proud to bring this man on. He doesn't get the accolades for the incredible support he's given to his brother, and in this time of families falling apart, it's a joyous thing to behold. So here he is. G'day.
Hello, good evening. How are you?
Good. How's your bum? I've just been blowing smoke up it.
Yeah, it's been an interesting day.
Let's talk about today. You were there. I was sitting next to you. I saw you getting frustrated a few times, but what is your overall thoughts? I know we can't get really deep into the case. I don't want you to get in trouble, but what are your thoughts?
Yeah, interesting experience. I'll give it that much. I guess that's the positive take on it.
Yeah.
A bit stressful. That's very much an understatement.
It's interesting how you're not allowed to be with Paul helping as well. He doesn't have a lawyer. He's in the Supreme Court. He could end up in jail for a long, long time. He's got one person helping him as a Mackenzie sort of friend, they call it. But I'm thinking, why can't he have his brother next to him? You know, he doesn't talk, just, you know, I find that
Yeah,
frustrating. I
we've
saw
got to
it
be
on your
thankful.
face. You're finding it
We've got to be
frustrating.
thankful for small mercies so far.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now bring
So
up, where do they find the where do they, oh, is that it? freedomtruck.com, freedomtruck.au?
it's freedomtruck.au. Yeah,
So there's no
that's
comment.
that's
You could
our
support the com-
page that we've been fundraising over for some
Yeah.
time. It's got what looks on the surface to be a reasonably sizable figure raised, but that's pretty much all been spent over the years over 3 different legal teams.
So it's just, you've just got an ongoing one?
Yeah, so we've just got an ongoing one that we've been raising, so getting support over, basically people gifting money towards helping with expenses, and it's 100% gone towards legal costs, and the only thing that hasn't gone
Of
to
which
legal
you don't
costs.
have any legal, you don't have a lawyer. So you've had legal
Well, I was
costs.
going to say the only things that haven't gone to legal costs is actually getting us down here on fuel, flights, and accommodation and stuff. So
Yeah, and you might be here.
hasn't even gone towards food or anything like that. It's only gone towards bare essentials, and before
Yeah.
that, only not a cent was spent on anything other than lawyers.
And if you told me right, if you wanted a barrister, one who was offering help, it was going to cost you $200,000.
Yeah, or above, and that was from a barrister that is very sympathetic to the situation, has every good intention to be able to do something. Wasn't able to in the end because he got unwell, and that rate or quote of that figure is based on rates that he charges that are about 15, 20 years in the past as to what rates used to be. So it would be a lot dearer with most barristers.
So if you're innocent and broke, tough luck. Good luck.
Well, that's probably the biggest learning curve out of this whole experience.
Yeah.
I think.
You said it best.
So we have a legal system that technically is you're innocent until proven guilty, and that's by all technicalities correct. The caveat to that is, if you don't have money, you either have to get your way out of it by pleading guilty to stuff and make half of it go away so you don't wind up in jail forever.
Pleading guilty to something you didn't do, because you said it the other day.
So this is where I say it's a learning curve that it's actually not set up very well for people that are innocent. If you are guilty, you'll end up doing a deal, you'll get a reduced rate, you'll work out some things.
Yeah.
That's great if someone's guilty and they're getting some extra, flexibility because they've been a nice person since, or, that type of stuff. But if you're actually innocent, your options are either you plead guilty, which is basically perjuring yourself in the court, which Paul's absolutely flatly refused to do because he has no belief in his core that he did anything wrong, and certainly had
100%.
no ill intent and was acting in good faith. So if you're in that position, your options are, and if you're steadfast in your belief, your options are limited because legal aid aren't going to support you terribly well. So that's your other alternative, and they aren't going to help a whole heap. Well, apparently, we got told that they wouldn't run a trial in the Supreme Court, so that crosses that one off the list. So then your other alternative is you go in there, like Paul's doing now, knowing nothing of what you're doing, other than the fact that you know the truth of what happened, and you try and do your absolute best to get some reasonable results. So it's a real eye opener. Not an experience I'd wish on too many people if they can avoid it. But that's the situation we found ourselves in. But
because you were up late last night, I know, because I think we left Colac, which is near Geelong, probably about 1:30, and we reached Yass in about 3 a.m. And so I'm only going to do a short show tonight. So I might let you go after this because I know you were up really late because I was seeing you texting me and asking. So you
Yeah, I was
need to get some
messaging you
sleep tomorrow.
after midnight, and then I woke up this morning early hours, relatively early, to get going again. And the first thing I do is I saw a message from you says crashed at Yass. We'll be there in about 3 hours. I'm thinking, my first thought was, oh crap, you crashed. Okay, hopefully it wasn't too bad. Then I stopped and realized what you were meaning.
Yeah. No, we were gone, man. We were gone. But look, Paul,
Yeah.
I know you've got a lot of work to do with the person who's helping you legally and Paul, and get some rest for tomorrow. So I might let you go
Yeah.
for now. These boys do need a little bit of help. They could be here for a week. The judge is even saying it could go to 4 weeks. If you're out there and you were at Epic, you're around that time, if you saw anything, if you were really close, if you got video footage or anything, we're probably too late to send it in, but send it in anyway. We'll send it on. If you live in the
Still be
Canberra
useful.
area and you're sympathetic to our tribe or you're a part of our tribe, why not pop down and offer him support? There was a handful of people there today, and it really helps Paul. And I think this is an astonishingly important case. It defines us as a movement because Paul came to the Epic to help. Anyway, I'll take care of all this. You go
I was
and get
going to
some.
say, it's
Thank
not even about being sympathetic to the tribe or the movement. It's about being a genuine Australian that cares about
Yeah,
Australia.
yeah,
It goes beyond
100%.
any group or movement or anything like that. It's
Yeah,
just straight out what's right. And at that time, there was a lot of issues going on that weren't being handled appropriately. And that's why there was that many thousands of people there frustrated with what was going on.
yeah,
And everybody there was peaceful, as is well documented, contrary to what might be claimed in certain publications or other
yeah.
things. But the fact that they couldn't really arrest anyone on the time, there was pretty much no public disorder other than probably some
Mm,
agitated people, as in verbally agitated
yeah,
and frustrated. But, there are people that have just been forced to lose their jobs or had their businesses shut down, or they couldn't serve half the population because half the population didn't want to have certain substances
yeah.
in them. And, segregation was not supposed to be a thing that was supposed to come around in the 2000s in this country, but apparently it did. So everybody rightfully got very frustrated. And the funny thing is, the numbers that went down to Canberra were large, but only a small percentage of the population. Since that time, even in the last 6 months, the percentage of people that previously wouldn't have appreciated that now have realized that they were had and played, is exponential increase. Like, you're
Absolutely,
talking huge
100%.
numbers of people that at the time were sympathetic for the lockdowns and everything else and staying at home and masks and everything like that. Over half of those people that I know are now totally disgusted about what went down because they finally realized that they were screwed over.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
and there's nothing, I mean, we've got constitutional and state and federal protections on being able to voice our opinion on political matters. Nobody in this case was actually being outrageous or unreasonable. It
no,
was just a firm statement of their opinion.
yeah.
Yeah. So,
We even
yeah. The silly thing is that whole weekend was far less. There was far more people than recent rallies in certain capital cities that have occurred, with far less agitation and stupidity.
yeah.
And yet, there was a big target on this one,
Well, look, we
which is
walked down from
unfortunate.
Epic. A lot of people walked down. That's a 9-kilometer walk. Children were walking down it and everything. No cars were looted. No shops were looted. No windows broken. No graffiti. There's the only violence was against us. But basically, the story is most of us have moved on with our lives. I try to remind people that Epic means something more than a protest. It was a spiritual event, and Paul has been left behind. He's the last one. He's got left behind there, and he's fighting to stay out of jail. Because I might just, I do have the charges here. So the charges are the main, I won't do it all, there's some minor charges, but the main charge are, and I did get permission from your guy to read this out. So the main charges are, so if you're at Epic, just let me know. I think that's the elements. I won't go into all of it, but
I think the main stuff that's actually before the jury trial is just the two charges of drive at police. Interesting.
yeah, so he's accused
That's
of
all that's
driving a
actually being
motor
heard at the
vehicle.
moment.
Yeah, at or near a police officer. The accused intended to drive the motor vehicle at or near the police officer, and they say he was either the word reckless is what they used a lot. Yeah, here it is. And that he was reckless, and that wasn't the case. This is just a simple case, and I've got a video from Cossack that I'll play in shortly after you go, where people can see this was just he was meant to be in a line of trucks, but there were so many of us, he got separated because people were sitting on the truck and this, and then Cossack got on, and Cossack, the great showman, I'm not putting him down for this, he could see, oh, this is great, I'm going to come riding into Epic on a black truck. I mean, I remember seeing him do it thinking, yep, he's stealing the show, and off he went a wrong way. And so this is just, I think, a series of miscommunications in a maelstrom of a lot of Australians who are really angry that they were losing their jobs and being ostracized and stuff like this. And the people said, the police were saying today we're aggressive, but this, I'm going to play something that people might, this is the song of the march. Have a listen. And that you serve us, that's what we were going on. And this is what we were trying to, the message behind that chant is this going, we feel like we're being ruled. You're not serving us, you're just telling us what to do. And if we don't do it, you're penalizing us. This is why a lot of people came. But yeah. Anyway, Mike, I'm going to let you get back to work. So thanks for today. I'll see you in the morning because I'm going to crash after this. I'm certainly not doing an hour tonight. And is there anything else you want to say, brother, before I kick you out?
No, that's all right. Thanks to everyone for their ongoing support. Appreciate it greatly.
Yeah, and get some sleep. And we'll see you guys in the morning. Good luck.
Yeah. All right.
See you
then.
Bye. So yeah, look, he's been a huge supporter. I think they're a bit nervous. They don't want to talk about the case. So I'm just tell you some things I want to say. So the barrister got up and he basically told the jury this is the case, and the case is basically that Paul was basically driving dangerously and was a danger to the police and the public, and they believe that can you call Michael and say that the GoFundMe's not working?
Yeah.
Just call him that. I'm too tired to fix that, girls. I'm just going to bring some of these things through. So they were so that was their case, and now here is Paul, and he's trying his best. He's looking around. I mean, I think anyone would be daunted being in the Supreme Court. You've got all this stuff going on, and he is strong, but he was really struggling. Anyway, so the prosecutor got up and said, you know, this was basically a dangerous, reckless man, and that the police told him to stop, and that he didn't stop, and basically, you know, he could have run them over, and so they were forced to disable the truck, and then he tried to evade escape, and that's their claim. And so they're selling that story to the public, to the jury. Now, our side has another story that we're selling to the jury, and we're saying that it was just a wrong turn, and that he ended up where, I don't want to go into much of the defense, but we all know it anyway. We've been talking about it for 4 years, and that he went the wrong way, and there he was, and then suddenly the police, I think, from my perspective, what I saw today on some of the police videos, I think they just freaked out a bit because even though the police commissioner of Canberra, for some reason, said only 6 to 10,000 protesters were there, both police officers we saw today were honest in their appraisal that there was thousands, and they emphasized thousands. They were like thousands there, and so they were genuine there. So there's thousands of people there, You've got this truck honking. When I play the video of Cossack, you'll see that. So this truck's honking away. People are screaming, you serve us, you serve us. And we're at a protest, so we're allowed to do that because we're at a protest. We're not hurting anyone. We might be a bit loud because we're at a protest. And so under all that duress, I think the police saw this huge truck, and it was only big because it's built for here it is. It's built for the movie things, like to be in Mad Max movies and stuff. So I can understand why the police would freak out. There it is. It's a huge thing. It's an amazing. It's called Zeus, and so that's what I think. And so I won't say any more about what happened and get in, but I just want to tell you something that happened today, which we've been all on this at Odyssey now for 4 or 5 years. But there's moments today that happened that I just wanted to sob. I just wanted to scream or just rattle the bars of our cages and go, stop, this is madness. And what it was, so the barrister got up and they're portraying Paul as this aggressive truck driver, irresponsible truck driver. And then Paul has to get up to do his address to the court, to the jury. And the first thing he does, he's very nervous. You could see him trembling, and he's got to do it. He's by himself. And you remember, he's up against the ACT legal system. The judge is the judge that put McBride into jail. And recently, apparently, it's just McBride. I actually think he's quite a good judge, to be honest. He seems fairly balanced in this. I don't have a sense that he's out to. I think he's just been a judge, to be honest. That's what I've seen. So I'm not going to get off and say, oh, they're evil with this. I actually think this is just two realities clashing. Two realities, each one comprised of good people, clashing and trying to decide what the truth is between our reality and their reality. Anyway, and if their reality wins, Paul could end up in jail for a long time. If they believe, if the jury believes, hi Forsh, if the jury believes that he is this reckless killer, then we're in trouble. And if our reality wins, Paul gets his truck back and he can actually get on with his life. Anyway, Paul gets up, and we've got the ABC lawyers sitting there typing away, young people. So there was 3 ABC lawyers in there. So I thought that was interesting, especially after they'd done that sovereign court case, or sovereign court show, attacking, basically rubbishing those of us who believe in sovereign citizen and common law. There was sort of anyway, and we were wondering if that had actually come out because Paul was going to court. If Paul had got up and said he's a sovereign citizen, whether they'd go ballistic, but he didn't do that. They've decided for their own reason that they're not doing that. And anyway, so he's self-representing himself. He gets up before the jury and he tells them all that, first off, that he's got 2 issues. One, he's got this acquired brain injury, which just makes things a bit slower for him to take in. It's this. He's still bright. He's still lovely, but he's methodical in what he does. He's just this gentle, lovely, like this. I'll read it out again. So we got given this by one of the supporters, Tina, on the back of this receipt. I love this. Regardless of how this turns out, I want to let you know that your brother, it's supposed to go to Michael. radiates gentleness and goodness, and nothing can change that about him. So this is, you can just feel it. If you're around Paul, you just get this sense that this is a really lovely, gentle guy. And so, and here he is, all alone, apart from the handful of us. His brother Michael is this gorgeous thing, and Paul owes Michael so many beers. I don't know, Michael drinks, and then he also has this lovely person helping him, who I was very much admired. This was someone really special. So there's the link for that. Anyway, so Paul gets up and he tells them that it's he's got this brain injury, and that's also a part of his dyslexia. So he has trouble reading, and you saw him there trying to read. So the barrister had got up with his wig, with his robes, and basically said that this man is just, deserves to go to jail. And then Paul gets up and he apologizes to them that he's going to struggle to do this. He reads out this thing and he stops, and he did things like he came up to a word. He goes, I can't read that word. And he so he read it out. He's a lovely, brave young man. And then he told me that towards the end, he was struggling so much that he was crying. And if you see his eyes are red. He didn't cry in court. He held it together, but he was on the verge of it. He told me today there's a part of him is actually thinking of going overseas and just effing off. And I think a lot of people would do that, but he didn't. He's come back to face the music because he truly believes he did nothing wrong, that this is just a series of unfortunate events. And they've got their own videos, Jenny. Hi, Jenny Dean. I haven't noticed your name before. Sorry about that. It's nice to come in. Maddie Max. Hey, Maddie. Yeah, that's right. The truck driver. But he was hitting the horn a lot. But who cares? It's an air horn, and he's in a truck. It's a protest. We're there to make noise. What are we going to do? Sit there and have cucumber sandwiches with the cops? I mean, and there was no police injured. No police injured. Hey, Marie. And donations not going through. I think they're trying to fix that now. I think someone put up. We'll see let me see if I can get it up. Sorry, guys, we're Freedom Truck. Oh, you did? Yeah, I think I need it in the comment in the thing. So freedomtruck.au. I don't think there's a .com. I think it's just freedomtruck.au. Here it is. Let's let that come up. Oh, it's just taking forever. Anyway, so there he was in this thing, trying to do an opening speech to the jury, having some advice from this person, having advice from all of us, which we shouldn't do, but we're just so desperate to help, because the last thing we want is for this young man to go to jail. Absolutely. It's yeah. And so there he is. Hey, Anthony. Hey, Jen. Butterfly heart 65. How you doing? And this is what George does. I never do. I used to do this early on. I never do it now, but tonight I'm doing it because I was too tired to find a guest. And Kelly doesn't like doing this. So I just said, "Do you want to come on?" She goes, "No." But she's been a rock. She's really, her and Paul are very close, and so anyway, there he is. It's like Daniel in the Lion's Den. I was very, very, very worried that it was going to be like a lamb to the slaughter, but he does have this person on his side who's only allowed to offer advice, and the judge is giving him patiently giving him a chance. You know, it's going very slow because of Paul. I think the prosecution, they wanted it all done in 2 days. They wanted it done, Paul in jail, move on with their lives, and that's what they want. So yeah, and we've yeah, and there was something today. I don't think they were lies from the other side. I think they were just misconceptions. They're going on with what evidence they have, but we saw other things, and so yeah, and so yeah. A COVID scam, damn. Trouble is, the judge wasn't there, Mike. There's no understanding. Well, that's right. Well, this is why we have to tell stories. And it's not the judge, it's the jury. I mean, we've got a jury for this. Basically, all Paul is guilty of is going the wrong way accidentally in a maelstrom of a you know, one of the biggest protests Canberra ever seen. ABC, you said that. And basically in that, he went the wrong way. And now we've got a jury trial. They had 60 juries to choose from, 60 jurors, and then we've got this jury trial for him for going the wrong way. And regardless whether he did or not, he's had 3 years of just basically drifting around Australia. Even the story of how, you know, he got out of one hearing and his brother calls him and says, you've got to come see mum, she's dying. And so he gets on his motorbike, his 750, and he's riding across the country thinking he might end up in jail for 30 years. Oh, here it is. I'll leave that. I'll put that comment up there. Try this one here. And I'm thinking he could be in jail. I wonder, can you put that in private chat? How do I get in the banners? Anyway, I'm so tired. Just bear with me. What did I say? What was I up to? In the banners? Oh, sorry. What was I up to? I can't remember what I was up to. Anyway, so here's where we are. I'm just so tired. I can't remember what I said. But basically, oh yeah, it's 2 stories. So this is what we have to do. We're being very polite. The few of us that are in the court are very, very polite. Yeah, I've been crying too, Jenny. Don't worry. Oh, it's on the inside anyway. I actually got on my knees. Don't tell Hoodie. I actually got on my knees and I prayed for Paul. I've never done that. I haven't done that since I was forced to do it as a kid. Never done that. Never done that for myself. Just this. I've done a couple of prayers here and there where I've stood up, but I actually got on my knees in Colac in the Red Rock Theatre, and it's just saying, please, 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 please do not send this guy to jail. Don't send Paul to jail. And so here's where we are, and yeah, I know, COVID. So I don't know who they're going to call. I don't know. G'day, Mark. How you going? Yeah, that's right. As Bruce would say, he was given a hamburger with a lot. That's right, Mark. And so yeah, so it's a long way to come to Canberra. If you can't come to Canberra, even if you don't pray much, you're not a praying person, please pray. We need help today. He does have the help in this gentleman, but he's up against it's like you can feel the bureaucracy of it, really, the bureaucracy of the court, and you're thinking, g'day Dawn, thanks Dawn, yeah, I'm a bit, and what was that? And you are thinking, and they do say things like, you know, he's innocent till proven guilty. So they say all those things. But then when it comes to lawyers and lawyers and barristers, like you said, you know, if he wants to prove his innocence, and he is innocent, it's going to cost him $200,000, and that's cheap. I remember when I was going to court for my, I don't know, Mark, when I'll let you know as we get the information, I'll let you know. Someone, a friend of mine said, you need a lawyer to go to court. This was for the shrine, the shooting at the shrine. Well, where we got arrested for being in the shrine. I didn't shoot anyone. And he said, oh, you need this lawyer. So we got this lawyer, and we didn't have much money, and he took $6 grand. And I think he did 2 online Zoom interviews where he came on a Zoom with all these other people, and he told the judge, I can't do that date. Can I do this date? And the judge was going, I don't. Twice they did that. It was like they were arranging a golf date. And then he gets back and he goes, we'll need more money. I thought, more money? You're on for like 10 minutes making dates. 6 fucking grand. 6 fucking grand. You know, what are you driving? What are you? And so I ended up losing 6 grand and going to court myself, and I actually won, or the fine got thrown out anyway. And so here it is with Paul. So can the system, can a man, and remember this is all the money behind the legal system in the ACT is all focused on now on a beautiful, young, gentle, kind Australian who came to Epic to help, to have his say. He carried a lot of supplies down for the camp in the truck, gave people lifts. He just likes helping. He's helped me with the bus. I've helped him with. He's just a bloody good guy. And here he is up. He's dyslexic. He's. I mean, if he was in if you took him to say Bill Lober's place with all the mechanics, you took him there, bang, he'd be happy as Larry. He'd fit in like a bug in a rug, because he just has the gift of working with his hands and knowing things. He's incredible that way. But you put him in a court where he's trying to fight for his freedom by staying out, not ending up in jail for 10, 15 years or more, which is, I think, what they're going for with the threat that he was driving at police. That's what they've threatened. I mean, who knows? But sorry, Valerie, I'll stay closer to it. It's we're in a car park in Canberra. Anyway, and here he is up against this. He's not I don't want to call him like he's an idiot, but it's really, really, really difficult, and it is torturous to watch, because it's like watching our system, our justice system, torturing someone. That's what it's like. Even though they're being nice, even though the judge has been nice, it's a form of torture watching him. And yeah. So anyway, so the boys are staying down here. They're staying in a hotel. I'm actually thinking of Cal and I actually thinking of going to stay in Epic tomorrow. I wonder if they'll let us in. Or the last time I went there with Cret and Wendy, they all lost their shit. They came out from everywhere. They were locking everything. They're calling the police. They're calling the police. I think we were all coming back. It was just Cret, Wendy, and me. But g'day, Steve. Yeah, he is, man. Steve Crossman. He's sick as the bus. He's met Paul, spent time with him. He really is a wonderful human being, and he's our human being. He's one of us. He is someone we left at Epic, and that's what I'm saying. If we don't get behind this young man and try to get him out of this predicament, then that's really going to show that Epic wasn't a great spiritual event. It was just another protest. And I don't believe that. I believe Epic was the birth of our tribe, wherever we're going or wherever we are, and all our different things. The donation link is still not looking. Okay, guys, we'll try get that fixed tomorrow and get it up in the next few days. They're exhausted, we're exhausted, so we'll try get it up. But the beauty today, what I saw, was in the few people that came to support him. I met Tobias. I don't know if anyone remembers Tobias. I went up to Canberra with Tobias. I'm going to interview him with him here, hopefully. I left Canberra to go to Epic, and he was in the little convoy, the little Cafe Locked-Out convoy, and he's still here. He's, yeah, I'm not going to say anything more about his story because his story is amazing, but it was a joy to see Tobias, and I'll look forward to seeing him tomorrow. Other people here too. A woman came down from the Gold Coast. She was really lovely. And I met Mikhail, I think Mikhail, who's a Czechoslovakian born man. He's 89 and he's full of life, and he's listening. He goes, "Oh, I can't hear. He goes, "Oh, my memory," but he's full of stories, and he's writing in Czechoslovakian newspapers and stuff. He's there to support Paul. He came up. I'm not going to read that out, Paul. I don't. Well, I don't know who Paul Oosterhouse is. Never heard of him. If you're watching ACT Police, this man's just a troll. He's just trying to cause trouble. The police have actually been really good. So I'm trying not to do anything bad with this. It's like walking in a minefield. But the beauty of our little tribe, some of these people I have met together, and incredibly quickly, you're aware of this spiritual connection we have. And I will tell you this now. If you're in our tribe, if you came to Epic, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. If you didn't come to Epic and you wanted to come, the view is the same. Pretend that your soul has a rear vision mirror. Look in the rear vision mirror and you'll see a glow. And that glow was us. We came together and in this camp, and we glowed. And the people that didn't come but wanted to be there, or your attention was focused on us, or your energy was focused on us, I think that helped the glow as well. And that was us. In a time of darkness, when so many people in our country were lost, we found each other and we created a light that I can still see today. That's in my song. And so, yeah. So that's about it. I'll keep you posted tomorrow. I'm going to write something about it today for the things that I saw, but I don't want to get Paul in trouble. And I don't want to have any sway on the case, but it'd be interesting to see what the ABC write. And it's interesting to be back in Canberra. I don't like Canberra. Anyway, here's where we are. I'll keep you posted. Please share. Better still, download, repost. Oh, okay, but it's working now. Popsicle Toes 59. Well, you're a new one. I haven't heard of Popsicle Toes 59. There's, yeah, you know, see that God always has a plan. I'm coming to that opinion when I filled this bus full of fuel recently, and I thought that was the end of the bus. I thought, oh, Cal and I are going to be, who knows where we're going to be living on the streets probably. And we ended up getting it towed to this man's place, Rick, and he was unvaccinated. And I think we were meant to meet him, including the seat that got us there, but I really believe I was meant to meet Rick. And I should give him a call actually. And yeah, so that's what Paul's hoping for. In the video he does, he knows it's dark now, he knows it's scary, he knows he doesn't know what he's doing. He's just trying his goddamn best. And so it's a time for prayers. Hey, I'm alive. Hey, a lot of people said they're praying for me. So, you know, I was in a pretty bad way and I'm here and I'm still fighting. So maybe there is something in this pray thing. Don't tell Hoodie. Don't tell Hoodie. Anyway, I'm going to go and get to sleep now. I love being a part of our community. And I know there's still division and stuff. Hopefully that's healing now. But to all those who are in dividing, just know that there's no other tribe waiting to adopt our orphans. All we really have is each other. And we were a gift to each other. And when we get together, we glow. And when the rest get cold, too cold of the dark world they're going into, they're going to look around and they're going to need something to head to. And that's going to be us. Oh, my blue bees. We got badges now. We make them ourselves, so they'll be cheaper. We'll get on to organizing that the next few days. But they're pretty good, although I think the design might change a bit. So if you get them now, you get an early design. Who knows? 1,000 years from now, they'll be worth a lot of money. Go, oh, I got the blue bee design instead of the blue beaded design. Yeah. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to give Doc Paul a ring and have a chat. And yeah, it's interesting at one point to see levels of hope, but then you see a jury, and then you see young Paul, and then you realize you're in the Supreme Court, and that these people, this prosecution team, these police, they're looking to throw him in jail for a long time. And so it's a fight. It's a fight. And we might not have the money. We might not have the credentials. We might not have this legal team we can all rely on. But we got heart. We got love. We got determination. We're just a load of stubborn bastards, bitches, stubborn bastards and bitches. And here we are. And let's pray. Anyway, that's it. I'm not going to waste any more of your time. I was going to play Cossack doing it, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to hit the sack. And a big thanks not only to Cal, and we shared the driving, thank you very much, but to Florence. This bus has a lion's heart, a lioness's heart. She drove almost 800 kilometers yesterday after I'd already tried to kill her by filling her full of petrol. And a colonic. And she got here, and she's here now. And all these lives that we're doing, all these people are interviewing it, none of that would be possible without this old bus, 1987, who Dennis Borchos, he worked on the glow plugs, and I truly love that guy. He's so incredible. So got him and his family, got Bill Lober, Rick, and there's other things like Friends of Florence and all the boys up at Bill Lober's place, all working together. And so there's me, Cal, and the bus is a standalone. She said this morning it was absolutely freezing up here, and we got the glow plugs, and we're thinking, are we going to have to do a special thing to get it going when she doesn't want to start? And instead, because of the work of Dennis Borchos, Dr. Dennis Borchos, who is also in the firing line of APRA, which is another absolutely ridiculous thing. She just exploded awake this morning and said, yep, let's ready. Let's go to Canberra. And here we are. So we'll keep you posted. Hey, Robin, love you too, bird. Love you too, girl. I was hopefully on my way to see you, but we'll go once we've got this out the way. I don't know, Susan. I'll find out more about that thing, but they couldn't. What it is, I don't think the boys. It's been 3 years now. Lots of the boys couldn't raise the money for the barrister, and so the legal team got them to here, and that's cost them 60 grand. There's literally nothing left, and they haven't spent money on anything. They're spending money on, that they don't have to stay in a hotel now and doing this. These boys. Like they don't even have enough. Sometimes you see young guys going to jail or going to court, and the suits look great. Everything's looking spiff. These guys are just doing their best. They're poor, as most of us are. So anyway, yeah. Anyway, Oh shit, it's an hour. I only meant to do a few minutes. I'm going to play the epic song because I'm here. And if nothing else, nothing else, yeah, you'll find it in the notes, the thing. If nothing else, try to remember through this song, because this was the birth of what we are. And if we survive, this is what I believe is the birth, was the coming to epic. And that comes with the joy of knowing you were there, if you were there, or knowing that you wanted to be there. But I also think it comes with the responsibility to the religious or spiritual significance of it. Yeah, and that's why I'm here. I've been helping Paul for 4 years, and he's just a good, decent member of our community. He's worth fighting for.
At the address to support Paul tomorrow.
Supreme Court, ACT. I already think they got one of them. And it starts at 10, goes till 4, and it's actually quite exciting, because it's not exciting in the like say, oh wow, look at this. You're actually there and you don't know which way it's going to go. And the police played footage today we've never seen, their body cams, and it's like going, wow. And yeah, so I don't know which way it's going to go. I don't. I really don't. So let's pray. Yeah. Anyway, now I'm just ranting. Good night. God bless.
We came down from Darwin with the dust in our veins. We drove across the Nullarbor, driven by change. There were convoys from Melbourne and busloads from Cairns, where we camped at Wodonga.
We can't live stream it. We're not allowed. We're not even allowed to take photos.
And there were tears of hope singing through our liberated eyes as we scrawled freedom forever across our government's lives. As we scrawled freedom forever across all our government's lives. And we didn't come to start a war, and we didn't come to hate. Instead we came to remind you that we were still your mates. And we didn't come to start a war, and we didn't come to hate. Instead we came to remind you that it was not too late. But our country had gone crazy, corrupted by fear. And before us the long path was already flooded with tears. Yet in epic we were dancing, for we knew what we'd done. Together we'd made the birth of all our freedoms. And this new cry for liberty were the smiles in our hugs, as the cops haunted our periphery like tyranny's new thugs. But for one night in Canberra we knew we were aglow, and our luminance was shining like a beacon of hope. And we didn't come to start a war, and we didn't come to hate. Instead we came to remind you that we were still your mates. And we didn't come to start a war, and we didn't come to hate. Instead we came to remind you that it was not too late. So never forget how We drew a deep line in their cold sand from a showground called Epic. So never forget how, by leading the way, we wrote a fresh song of freedom that you can still sing today.
I forgot to say, and I meant to say this. This is really important. Sorry, I'll come back to this. Our community, we have this thing of fame now, you know, fame and billionaires. That's all we see, famous people, billionaires. But I really believe a great community is not measured by how many famous people it has or how many billionaires it has, but how it treats those who need help, who have just been born needing help. And that's, in this particular case, that's Paul. That's Paul. This is how we're going to judge ourselves, by how we treat Paul. Yep, I'll try to get to that. Look up in the comments, guys. I think the thing is there. Also, I'm going to start playing the song again. In the song, there's a blue, it looks like she's a nurse. She's in blue, she's dancing. If anyone knows who it is, I would love to interview her. Anyway, sorry to interrupt. Take care.
We wrote a fresh song of freedom that you can still sing today. So sing like you've never sung before. Sing now like your soul's found its wings. Sing out like an echo through our time, until our grandchildren are born humming our lines. Until our grandchildren are born in the freedom's warm and glorious light. Until our grandchildren are born in the freedom's warm and glorious